Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your morning. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I am looking at. But yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty productive and effective pre-market trading. And I'll show you that in just a little bit. But I kind of wanted to see where you guys were at. So I'm going to start sharing the live chat. But here we go. Some of you get Lori. What's going on, Lori? Lori's saying that she was worried. My boy Rick. What's going on, Sergio? Hope you're having a great morning. What's going on, Corey? I don't know how many of you guys are tuning in for maybe the first time or for the first week and stuff like that. I just want to welcome each and every single one of you. If you're here every single day and you've been here for a long time, I appreciate you. Thank you guys again for absolutely just everything it is that you guys do. What's going on, Sean? Hey, Ricky, can you look at /CO? Of course, Kevin. Let's go ahead and check that out. So as of right now, let me just break down natural gas because that's a huge focus of ours. Had a huge push up, broke below the middle VWAP, started to sell off, started to build this kind of like cup and handle pattern. You can see the little handle right here, the little cup right here. But look at the MACD. Very overbought, very overextended. It makes sense on why it would most likely just continue to downtrend rather than actually continue to uptrend. So I set my alert here just in case it does actually continue to uptrend, and then I can follow up with it. But most likely, I think that it's going to break below the EMA line, and then we can kind of go off of that. So I'm going to go off of that, and then I'm going to go to /CL, and we can start breaking that one down. So I like to focus on consistent uptrend patterns. I like to make sure that I understand what it is that I'm investing in, and I think that /CL, makes a lot of sense when it comes down to like the pattern that it has to offer as of right now. It's trading between the middle and top VWAP. So, if you complete the course, you guys are very well familiar with, that is showing signs of an uptrend pattern, right? It's making higher highs, it's making higher lows. That's something that we find attractive. It's not even the middle VWAP really. It's the SMA line where it's really finding a support and the top VWAP where it's finding a resistance. I would say that, again, the more margin that it builds, the closer to the EMA line or SMA line that it will be. And it just, I can set my alert here for the break above 56. I know that UWT and DWT are the correlating ETFs, and those are the ones that we're most likely going to follow. The thing that I just want to ask you is, and I know this is the hardest part, one of the hardest parts when it comes down to trading, but it's just understanding that where it's at right now and looking at previous resistance, that's less than 0.5% for a margin of profit. So let's say, I don't know how many of you guys have ever done this, and trust me, I've been there, I've done that, and this is why I'm talking about it. So it literally does not make sense. But let's say you ended up selling at $15, right? You sold at $15 and then it pulls back, you're like, wow, I did a good thing. And then it just continues to uptrend and it went up to 15.12. You feel like you were robbed of those 12 cents. Not sure why, but sometimes I feel like I'm almost forced to take a position around where I previously sold so I could sell roughly around where it peaked out at or even higher. And it just does not make sense. That's not a logical reason on why to actually trade. One of the biggest things when it comes down to that is simply over trading and making sure that you understand that when to walk away when you clear something for a profit, or even even let's say you were to break even at the specific price point. Look at where it's at, based off of previous patterns, because that's all you could really go off of. It makes sense on why to sell around this price point, why to wait for a pullback, wait for it to consolidate a little bit, right, and then actually bounce and then be a part of maybe UWT when it's actively trending up. Not too sure if you guys have ever been in that position where you lock in profits, you see that it continues to go up, it pulls back, you get in right away, even though the margin of profit isn't necessarily worth it, just due to the fact that you feel that you missed out on whatever margin it covered after you sold. But I just think that, again, revenge trading or just over trading just does not make too much sense. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set my alert as it approaches the SMA line and simply go off of that. And then I'm also going to set an alert for the break above the resistance. So green to screen, be patient. What's going on, Caleb? I appreciate that. So Fede, what's going on? Good morning. Let's check out TNDM. So TNDM trading between the middle and bottom VWAP and really just consolidating. So not too much action going on there. I'm going to set my alert on that one. We got ticker symbol DGAS, still trying to show signs of an uptrend. Again, just the direction isn't too clear for me as of right now. And you can really see, remember, how many of you guys watched the video that I uploaded yesterday? I'm going to talk to you guys for a little bit. I see, Sean. Hope she feels better. Of course, Zach. Thank you. Great video. Okay, so I don't even know, but at the very end of the video, I talked about the idea that, at least for natural gas, I don't know how many of you guys just focus solely off trading natural gas, myself, but natural gas has 100% slowed down. And a perfect example, right? A perfect representation. If you guys are like, well, Ricky, how do you know that? Not just with the volatility, but with the actual demand itself. Look at this. Look at how it trades within the day. Look at these actual, these candles look decent, but then when it actually just, oh, I didn't see natural gas break below the support. But when we see the dashes, right, the incomplete candles, it just shows that there isn't much volume nor demand within DGAS. This was not something that we were experiencing during November nor December. And it's just proof comes to show that the demand just possibly just isn't there. The volatility just isn't there. And we're really noticing that as the pattern continues to flow. And I think that's why it's been much easier for me to walk away, because we were absolutely killing it. We had people that had their biggest days, especially with that volatility. I mean, both sides, right? Biggest day and maybe reddest days, because of the volatility that you guys and DGAS had to offer. If you were quick to, If you were quick to just take action and either cut losses or move into whatever it is that's actively trending up, there was so much upside potential. And, being able to clear, on my biggest day, $6,000. Absolutely, ridiculous, especially trading with, a $30,000 account. That's 20% within a day. And it's just so crazy to think that, now we're in a place where I'm even struggling to break over $1,000 profit. And again, it's not oh, wow, it sucks. It's still great, right? We're still able to identify margins of profit and stuff like that. But it's being able to realize that again, I found myself even with I don't want to say not the blind trading challenge, but shortly after that, after I saw that, I was up maybe a couple $100, it was just bothersome to me that I was just why can't I close over $1,000 now when I was doing so well during November and December? And it's just to the ability to accept that just natural gas just isn't there anymore, at least as of right now. The volatility nor demand is there, and we just have to accept that, right? So as of right now, I'm just getting a lot of consolidation within natural gas, as we can see here. A lot of consolidation, not much going on, nothing crazy. I set my alert up here, I set my alert down here to see if this thing is going to make lower lows or higher highs and kind of wait for it to identify its direction. So I'm just going to kind of wait out for that. So I know, yeah, I had to break up with natural gas yesterday on Valentine's Day. Yeah, January wasn't bad, but it was not in any way close to how November and December were. November was just absolutely ridiculous with how consistent. I kept talking about it of all I would focus on was direction, because when something was showing signs of an uptrend, it just absolutely killed it. The margin of profit and the way that it grew was ridiculous. It wasn't even my trading is still the same, where I focus on technicals, good deals, directions, and patterns, but the margin of profit and volatility was so much greater. Yes, I had to trade a little bit more quickly, but within a couple minutes, you guys have seen it, where I can clear $1,000, and I just haven't been able to do that even with my conservative style. There's so many times that I missed out on huge margins, and I was still able to do extremely well. We did have a nice little push during pre-market hours, literally right after I sold. I kid you not. Right after I sold UGAS, natural gas just continued to push up. I got the alert when it broke above 2.61, and I saw when it was super close to breaking 2.62, and I was super like impressed that like it pushed up that much, and then began to consolidate, and then guess what? Peaked out, and then began to sell off, and then now we're here. So holy moly, Vinny, it's all your hard work that's paying off. So you went from 5K to $6,860.75. I like that. Let's keep it consistent. And again, the only way that we can grow our account is if we manage our risk. So make sure that you always have a max percentage loss in mind. I'm sure that you already have that in mind. I just want to congratulate you and thank you for being a part of our team. I can't thank you enough. So time to consider getting back with your ex /GC. I think that's what it is. So let's check it out. All right. I want to break down stocks for you guys. I want to focus a little bit less on my trading and focus a little bit more. Oh, I don't think I showed you. I think I could show you guys right here. Yeah, so it's exactly $600 profit. Pretty crazy, but yeah. I woke up at 5 o'clock, took a position, and or shortly after 5 o'clock, and kind of went from there. I like that, Colby. Thank you again. I appreciate that. Thank you for killing it. It's all you taking action, and we're just here to like admire you. So I like that, Vinny. Super happy to hear that. That's so good. There we go. You guys are starting to push up a little bit more. I'm kind of seeing natural gas not follow you guys too closely. I don't know how I feel about this. Ticker symbol XOP. Yeah, let's break it down. I'd rather focus on you guys. So XOP. Okay. So based off of the patterns for today, overall high points around $31. Based on where it's at right now, how much margin it has for profit in comparison to what it has for loss, margin of profit does not outweigh the margin of loss. Also, we're just getting a lot of consolidation around this area. We're not seeing higher highs. Again, it's just overall direction and asking yourself, is this something that you want to invest in? Does it show signs of consistent growth, or is it skeptical? As of right now, the SMA line, I really do like that it's pushing up. But because it's consolidating so much, I just don't see the margin of profit nor the trade to be worth it. Again, that's my opinion. But yeah. Are you about to do something emotional? I know, right? Yeah, no, I'm good. Later, Josh. Thank you again for tuning in. What does that cup say? So the cup says straight out of Wall Street. It's one of our cups within the Tech Buds Apparel site. It makes the water taste extra green. No, wait, that does not sound good. Okay. PSLV. What's going on, Francisco? Very low volume. So this is not something necessarily that I would trade. Let me see its overall consistent pattern. Yeah, not something crazy. 180-day chart. Okay. I get the pattern. So it showed signs of an uptrend. It consolidated, sold off, consolidated, pushed up, sold off, it's consolidating. I like the MACD. I like the RSI. It's decent. Now we just need to wait for that confirmation of the reversal. So as of right now, it's not necessarily there. I don't like the volume. Again, I just want to make sure that that's understood. I don't like the volume. I think it's way too low. But I like the pattern. The pattern is consistent enough as long as it pushes up above the EMA line and then continues the flow. So just look at previous patterns and then see what it is that needs to happen as a confirmation for the overall reversal to make sense. Yeah, how does water taste green? I don't know. It was more of a joke and did not make any sense. So we're getting a lot of consolidation here. I don't know if you guys remember, but there's a slight little resistance right on the $14 price point. Now we're making almost higher highs based off of the previous pattern. So UWT might be trying to make, this might be the move next time. The margin of profit is huge, right, of what it has for recovery, even if it ends up going to like $25. It's absolutely huge, especially with where it's at right now. So definitely RSI overbought, overextended. So is the MACD. On the 5-day, 5-minute chart, let's check that out. It's been showing signs of a consistent uptrend pattern. Again, so what can you guys see? Looking at the 5-day, 5-minute chart, what do you identify as the support? What do you identify as a resistance? And is the price point at where it's at right now? Does it make sense to be a good buy or a good deal? Bad deal, right? Overextended, not the best deal. What's going on, Jake? Support at SMA, yep. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that 100% makes sense, right? So, one of you is saying that, like, unsure about, or Colby is saying unsure about the resistance. So the resistance I would identify as, this top VWAP, right? It makes sense every time that it gets close to or near to, it really rides that top VWAP. But where it finds a support, just like Colby said, and some of you, right? That it's the SMA line that is normally found, and normally where the support is found. So I really like that the pattern is very consistent. So it allows us to identify a pattern, and if there's a break of pattern in which that we can choose to, avoid. So based off of how it's trading right now, it would make sense on why we could set our alert, wait for this to begin to pull back, and then kind of wait for the overall, reversal and stuff like that. So it makes sense on maybe why it can be a good day trade. Definitely not a good swing trade, especially at the price when where it's at right now. Hey, what's going on, Julian? Just out of curiosity, why does it say PD2 above the analysis? So my account, it says like PDT. So because it says PDT, it means that I'm not under the PDT rule. So you can call to the Ameritrade and see, I believe, accounts that are under the PDT rule, so it's like EMD or something like that, or that there's obviously that you're under the restriction of the PDT rule and stuff like that. So we get a nice little push up on you guys. I might have to wait for a little bit of a pullback and then see if we can continue to ride this thing up. It is approaching the SMA line and that middle VWAP, so I might just have to wait a little bit for that. Have you flipped any cars lately? Yeah, I've partnered up in a couple of cars. Not really me selling them, other than like my 2016 GTR that Nissan crashed. I sold that one, right? But that was kind of like involuntary. But there's a couple cars that I partnered up with the guys at the house and stuff like that that we have recently sold. Tonight or today at 1 p.m. we have the Flipping Wheels free live Q&A. So I hope some of you guys can tune on in. I'll probably post the link if you guys want me to. It's a private live stream for those that want to learn more about investing in cars, getting good deals, negotiation, and all that good stuff. So Dung Nguyen, so this is a really good question, very open-ended. So do you think that holding a swing trade over the holidays like this upcoming President's Day is risky? So it doesn't matter, it doesn't even matter if it's just over one day, over the weekend, over a holiday. What matters, what would influence you to hold something for a long period of time that's an investment, if the value is worth it, if the opportunity cost is worth it, not if hey, it's President's Day. When I'm investing in a property, I'm not thinking about, hey, should I hold this over, Christmas, or should I hold this over Thanksgiving break or anything like that. What I'm thinking about is it a good deal? Is the margin of profit worth it? Can I hold on to this, rent it out, and then sell it for a profit because it has a lot of upside potential? thinking about it in more of the traditional aspect, it makes sense. When you think about it more as in like, the idea that, hey, should I hold this over like President's Day and stuff like that? Like, trust me, I've been there, I've said that. But I just want to remind you that what's most important is the value that that opportunity or that investment offers. That's where the value is at. Not, if the value does not outweigh the loss, right, or the risk, and you're trying to hold something, it doesn't even make sense to hold it overnight, regardless if there's a holiday or anything like that. So, yeah. Yes, please post the link in the Discord app. Okay, appreciate that, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, of course, I'll post it. It's 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So right now it's 10:22 a.m. here. I'm just going to grab some food, meet up with the guys, probably upload another video on YouTube, and then we'll be going live on their, I believe it's Weston's YouTube channel, but it's going to be unlisted, so you need the link. So I'm going to be posting the link in the announcement sections for Learn, Plan, Profit based off of your guys' suggestion. Liking that merch. Nice. Wait, can you guys see it? You guys can't see. Like, I thought you were talking about what I'm wearing right now. Is it too late to get into that $500 giveaway? No, you don't have to do anything special. So we're actually going to be announcing the winner, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow for the $500 giveaway. And then the next one that we're going to be doing, if I'm not mistaken, not next week, but it's going to be flying out one member of Learn, Plan, Profit to hang out with me and the team for 2 days. So 100% done. That's the scary part, managing risk and cutting losses. So if you don't see the upside potential to be worth it, if you don't see the pattern to be consistent enough, then it probably isn't worth it. Like, just have fun with it. Keep it super simple. No reason to overcomplicate it. If it's too complicated for it to make sense to you, then just don't take it. And especially with, today's Friday, like, have fun with it, be empowered to learn new things. Don't make mistakes that you don't need to make. Don't be afraid to take action, but just understand that if there's a reason behind your investment, just stand behind that. It makes sense, right? But if there's not a reason behind your investment, then maybe it's just not meant to be, right? Just having a very relaxed approach about it, I think would make a lot of sense with your entries, with your exits, with the reasoning behind trading and stuff like that. Just makes sense. So how do you choose the winner? It's a random selector, so we don't like cherry pick or based off of anything like that. This is just a random selector of all the people that are enrolled in Learn, Plan, Profit. You don't have to do anything special. If you want to shout us out on your Instagram or your social media accounts, we'll repost you on our page as well. But other than that, like, you don't have to do anything special to win the giveaway. We just want to, give back to like our group and motivate you on why it's so important to be an active member within our community. So you do have to be an active member. So it's not going to just be someone that never participates within our group. Of course, Tom. Thank you. Thank you again for participating. So that's the prize I want. What's going on, Billy the Kid? What's up? AZ Mickle, I like that. I like that, Bio. It just has to do more with like liability reasons of like me being able to have a house that I just have open and stuff like that. Maybe I can make it more of like an unlisted Airbnb and have it more private. But as of right now, it's just not something that we can take on just due to our schedule. What's going on, Cody? Hey, what's going on, Jason? Happy to have you as a part of the team. Thank you. Feel free to message me if you have any questions as you go along with the course. So what's going on, Jonathan? So just save 2K. What would you recommend, opening a margin account or just keep it as a cash account? So I did have a margin account. Yes, you're under the PDT rule with that, but if you don't have a margin account and just a cash account, there's two ways to approach that. You won't be under the PDT rule if you have a cash account, but you have to wait 3 business days for your cash to settle. So instead of trading with 2K, then you'll most likely trade with like, you can trade with like $750 per trade, and then you can trade like almost every single day, at least once a day. But if you want to be able to trade multiple times, maybe within the day, with your full buying power, then if the opportunity cost is worth it and that's what you're focusing on, then maybe a margin account makes sense. Just make sure that you understand both what a cash account offers, the pros and cons of that, and what a margin account offers and the pros and cons of that. It's pretty simple, and you can call up a broker and have them explain it to you, and maybe what's the most suitable thing for you in the position that you're at. I like that, Brendan. Nice, nice. Dude, you guys is doing a really good job. Look at this. I don't like the MACD. I don't like the RSI. But look, it just continues to rally. So there's some form of demand. It's just very low volume for you guys. So I really do like it. And I mean, within the past couple of minutes since we've been live, hasn't completed 1%, but it's trying to. It's just still below the SMA line. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Are you still under the P2 rule under a margin account if you have over 25K? No. So I'm an example of that. So I do have a margin account. I don't trade with leverage. I just trade with my cash account value, but I'm not under the P2 rule. The reason that I use margin is because I want that instant, benefit of when I buy and sell something that I have access to it right away. Wow, Jacob, that's so cool. Super happy to hear that. I like that, Jamal. Yep. Billy Kid is a great guy. Yeah, I mean that's I believe your name is pronounced Stevis. Sorry if I'm chopping it up, but um, yeah, I mean, I look at forward slash, so I have forward slash NG, so natural gas on my right monitor, and that's what I trade off of. So because there's such little data to analyze, usually during pre-market hours for natural gas or for UGAS or DGAS, I don't even look at that. I look at natural gas, how that's trading, and try to focus on the direction. So I saw that natural gas was showing signs of an uptrend, so I decided to partake in UGAS, and it made a lot of sense because the direction made sense on natural gas. So I 100% agree that focus on whatever it is that's showing signs of an uptrend pattern. Hey, Hunter. Nice. I like that. That's good. We're both green. I like that, Jamal. Nice. Hey, what's going on, Ismail? Ismail Diaz. Nice. Okay, yeah. So a lot of these, and I think it's just because we're getting into like the midday type of thing right now with forward slash CO and forward slash NG. We are seeing a progression of an uptrend, but it's just like it's such at a slow pace that I don't know if it's worth it. I'm second guessing myself because it's so inconsistent. It does not make sense with the indicators. All it makes sense with is like the pattern, which I know is very important, but like I just don't want to get in when it's super overbought and then just to see this thing start to tank, as it can happen. Yes, it is showing signs of an uptrend, but that's when it was above the SMA line. So I'm going to need to give it a little bit more time and stuff like that. So another Ismail. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, that's a pretty unique name. But yeah, I wanted to see if I can answer one more open-ended question and then kind of go from there. I think you'll hold. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. I don't know if it's going to hold. It is above the SMA line, but the SMA line is kind of flatlining and almost showing signs of a peak formation. But there it goes, making higher highs and stuff like that. Billy, it was in yesterday's video. Let me know if you're okay with me talking about that. If not, I could snip that part out of it. But I thought it was like a really good story where it could really like inspire a lot of people. Wow. Natural gas is really pushing up now. I appreciate that. All right, so once a stock breaks above the SMA line, yeah, I mean, to an extent, right? So like you could wait for it to get tested, as in like it pushes up, it pulls back, and then confirms either on the EMA line or the SMA line or the middle view up. There's just so many different indicators that are consolidating here that made sense on why it could find a really strong support. And there it goes, it pushes up. I took a 300 share position size, which is a little bit under $10,000, which is a little bit under what I normally take. So it's pushing. I'm gonna set my alert based off of previous resistance levels and kind of go off of that. So I'm just gonna add, again, it's showing signs of an uptrend, and I'm just gonna kind of go with it. So the RSI is very high, yeah. So this is gonna be more of just off of momentum. It's really pushing up. There we go. I'm just gonna have my sell order ready. So there's a lot of consolidation right around 60. Makes sense on why it got rejected there. So I'm going to start with my limit order over here at 28.80 and then move from there. So I'm just going to put like 75 here. Obviously, probably not going to sell there. Just want to give it a little bit of space for it to upturn. What price did you get fill at? So I've just been averaging up. So I haven't been really looking at my average purchase price. I think my second one was at 28.51. And the one before that was right around 28.40. So average position size is 28.49. I like that, Billy. Thank you again for helping out. So Billy just said if anyone is struggling, especially when trading under an account of $1,000, feel free to message me. So thank you again for reaching out and helping out. Yeah, do you mind if you send me the ticker symbol, Jaden? I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, I don't have any experience with that. I like that, Billy. Yeah. So 100% it was very overextended for you guys, but felt like the momentum was there. It did pull back a little bit, so I probably could have waited for a better entry point. But kind of just going to give it a little bit more time and then kind of go off of that. Let's see. I didn't feel like the MACD or the RSI, the indicators were being too like accurate. I didn't feel like the MACD, as it continued to peak out and rally and create this divergence, like it didn't make too much sense. Same thing with like the RSI. Yes, I saw that it was overbought, but it just continued to show signs of an uptrend and rally and break through every resistance, which is something that I found a little bit more attractive. So based off of previous patterns and how it's been pushing up, it pushes up, pulls back, consolidates, and continues to push up. So based off of previous patterns, which should see it consolidate and then begin to push up here as well. And if it doesn't, then we can simply, that's a break a pattern, I can cut losses. Yeah. You got it, Austin. It's KO. Nice. Zach, thank you. So I'll break that down for you. So ticker symbol KO. Okay, so huge sell-off due to its earnings, right? Very good. Wow, I like this. Okay, built this huge margin. Now we just need to wait for the confirmation. So yes, you could do that dip buy, but we don't know if it's going to continue to downtrend. I would also look into why it sold off so aggressively, especially with such a huge, like, multi-billion-dollar company, of, what caused this huge sell-off. So I would just make sure that you understand, what acted as a negative catalyst, what can continue to drive the price down, and just make sure that when we get in, that it's like, if you want your account to grow, then invest in patterns that are show incentive growth. Don't be so quick to jump the gun. Yes, this thing can push up to $47, but again, it still has huge margins for it to continue to uptrend. Just make sure that you get in when it's rallying and stuff like that. So thank you, Jaden. I appreciate that, especially in the ticker call out format. Kind of just waiting out and seeing if it actually ends up breaking below. I like the Landon. Thank you. That's so sweet. Up 3%. I like that. To keep it consistent, right? Again, we're not seeing much of movement on the actual ETF, but we're still seeing natural gas follow the EMA line. So there's no breakout pattern there just yet. So I don't want to bore you guys. It's honestly, it's taking way too long for natural gas to decide which direction it's going to be going and to kind of just consolidate. And so if I see that natural gas begins to sell off and breaks below the EMA line, if I see 2 candle confirmation making lower lows, I'll cut losses on natural gas. And that's pretty much the plan. If I see a continued top trend, I'm not going to add any more to my position. I'm just going to simply, sell as we get closer to the resistance, maybe around like 261 to 262, but in correlation to, you guys and D guys and stuff like that. So I just wanted to, again, thank you guys again for your time. Today's Friday, so I just want there to be a huge reminder and a huge focus that you don't get so caught up in the idea of holding something over the weekend just because it doesn't perform the way that you expected it on Friday, right? There's a lot of news. There's a lot of things that can go out and just affect whatever it is that you are trading over the weekend. And I would just hate for you guys to be and dig yourself in a deeper hole. Just have a plan in mind. Again, have a goal in mind long term, and just make sure that you continue to pursue whatever it is that you intend to. So thank you guys again for your time. I do apologize for a little bit of the delayed live stream. Continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.